Hello everyone, welcome to this second lecture on complex plane. A complex number z equals x plus iy is uniquely determined by an ordered pair of real numbers x comma y. That means if we are writing any complex number as x plus iy, we can also write it as a ordered pair xy. For example, if we write ordered pair as 2 comma minus 3, then that means we are talking about a complex number z equals 2 minus 3 iota. So in this way we can associate any complex number with a ordered pair of number xy, and we can represent it in a coordinate plane. This plane, we call this coordinate plane as the z plane or the complex plane. In the z plane, the x-axis is taken as the real axis and y-axis, which is perpendicular to x-axis, is the imaginary axis. The point of intersection is called the origin or the O point, and any complex number z, x plus iy, can be represented on this complex plane. In fact, the complex number can be viewed as a two-dimensional position vector whose initial point is the origin and whose terminal point is the xy point. So we can also represent it as a position vector with initial point origin and terminal point as the point of the complex number in the z plane. The modulus of a complex number z is equal to x plus iy is the non-negative real number such that modulus of z can be calculated as x square plus y square whole under root. So the square root of x square plus y square is the modulus of complex number, and it is also called the absolute value of the z. Geometrically, this absolute value or the modulus is the distance between the point xy and the origin, or we can say it is the length of the vector z. So it is important to note here that the inequality z1 less than z2 is meaningless. That means we cannot compare two complex numbers unless both the numbers are on the real axis. However, the statement modulus of z1 less than modulus of z2 has a meaning, because modulus of z1 means that it is the distance of complex number z1 from the origin, and modulus of z2 is the distance of complex number z2 from the origin. So modulus of z1 less than modulus of z2 means the distance of z1 from the origin is less than the distance of z2 from the origin. So that means z1 is closer to origin than the point z2. For example, say if you have a complex number z equal to 2 minus 3i, then the modulus of z can be calculated as the real part square plus the imaginary part square and its under root. So it is 2 square plus minus 3 whole square whole under root, which is root 13. If z is minus 9i, then the modulus of z is 0 square plus minus 9 square root, which is 9. 0 square because the real part is 0, and you can see that the modulus values are positive numbers. Okay, so modulus is always positive. If z1 is 2 minus 3i and z2 is 1 plus 4i, then the modulus of z1 and z2 we can calculate z1 as 2 square plus minus 3 square, its root, so that's root 13, and z2 modulus we can calculate root of 1 square plus 4 square, so that's root 17. So first value is smaller than the second, that means the complex number z1 is closer to origin as compared to the complex number z2. Properties of complex numbers, or the modulus in particular, that the modulus of z square is the product of z with its conjugate. So if z is x plus iy, then z conjugate is x minus iy. So if we put it as x plus iy, x minus iy, then you can see that its product is x square plus y square, which is nothing but modulus square. Second is the modulus of ratio of complex numbers. Modulus of z1 ratio z2 is nothing but the ratio of the modulus. So it is the ratio of modulus of z1 to modulus of z2. Third, the modulus of product of complex number is equal to product of their individual modulus. So modulus of z1 and z2 is same as modulus z1 into modulus z2. If we take z1 as z and z2 also as z, then this left hand side becomes modulus of z into z, modulus of z square, and the right hand side is modulus z into modulus z, which is modulus of z whole square. So you can just substitute both z1 and z2 as z and then check that the left hand side is modulus of z square equals modulus z whole square. So that's another property you can utilize. If z is x plus iy, then its complex conjugate, we already know it is now z bar, which is x minus iy. So on the complex plane, if we plot a complex number z as x plus iy or x comma y, then its complex conjugate is x minus y, and we can visualize this as a reflection about the real axis. So any complex number which is above the axis, its complex conjugate is below the axis, and any complex number if we take below the axis, then its complex conjugate is above the axis. Okay, so this is about complex plane. Okay, in the next lecture I will talk about polar form of complex numbers. Hope you enjoyed this one. Do watch and keep learning.